Hello, good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now with me, Vinny Motiwala, along with me, Shell. This is as well. Shell, a very good afternoon to you as well. Market seems like a bit on a holiday mode as well, right? Nothing exciting happening there today as well.
At least someone is in a holiday mode, at least the Vinny actually, given the fact that, yeah, we are working, the markets are on, very much on. 0.5% downtick is where we are, and we've been at around those levels since the word go. As you can see it on your screen, really a range-bound trading session coming in for the benchmark indices in today's trading session. Take a look at Nifty Bank. That one is actually now trying to recover from the day's lowest point. As you can see, the Nifty Bank is trading lower by about 0.2%. And like I said, it's near the day's highest point as we speak. Let's take a look at the broader markets, especially the small cap index, because small cap index has been in the positive territory now at the day's highest point. 0.5% uptick coming in for small cap index. Let's take a look at mid cap index, because that one is also holding on to good gains as of now at the day's highest point. Talking about the sectoral gainers and losers then is the defensives that's taking pretty easy in today's trading session. So you have IT index, that is the top sectoral loser. You have FMCG index that is seeing some sort of downtick in trade today, while on the flip side is the PSU bank index, and stellar comeback from the PSU bank index from the day's lowest point. Now the stock, now PSU bank index is the top sectoral gainer with gains about 1.8%. Metal also holding on to good gains. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time, Winnie. Yes, doing absolutely nothing, like you said, in holiday mode. That's what the markets are doing right now.
Absolutely, keeping an eye out on the markets in the last couple of hours of trade. But let's get started with the show and all the stocks that are buzzing in trade, either on the back of news flows or on the back of technicals. On the technicals, we have Nagaraj Shetti from HDFC Securities joining in with us, while from the research team, we have Lisa as well as Ansh joining in with us. A very good afternoon to all three of you all as well. Let me start with the first stock then. That is in focus today. We'll talk about Phoenix Mills. This is on the back of a brokerage note that we have from CLSA, where CLSA is actually maintaining an outperform rating, hiked the target price to 2,270 rupees per share from previous target price of 1,857 rupees per share. The strong visibility they see in the rental growth, they're estimating a 22% CAGR growth over FY23 to FY27 in the rental income over there, while obviously the strong liquidity and the cash flows is something that they believe could drive the growth beyond FY27 as well. So they believe that, Phoenix Mills is something that could see a good growth going forward as well. As of now, the stock is trading with gains of 3.5%.
All right, so that is Phoenix Mills for you, but let's stay with the infra space, realty infra space, and this one is Billiton. If you look at the stock, it has hit a 22-month high in today's trading session. One point in time, the stock was trading high by about 7.6%. It hit a 22-month high of around 404.35 rupees per share. The stock is gaining for a third consecutive session. And if you look at actually Billiton, over the last 9 trading sessions, it has actually gained over 23% or so. Why is Billiton buzzing? In fact, all of the infra firms are actually seeing a good run on back of demand boom coming in, because given the fact that we are going to head into elections, so government is spending more on construction as well as infrastructure projects. So on back of this particular upbeat sentiment ahead of the election, state elections as well as the general elections, you're seeing Billiton along with other infra companies seeing a strong uptick.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on that. But let's move on and talk about the first stock on the technicals and Engineers India. Nagaraj, what are the charts indicating for Engineers India? Where do you see it headed from here on now?
Yeah, this stock has witnessed a sharp downward correction in the past few months, and before showing an important bottom reversal around 116 level, the stock has showed after that it has showed a significant upside bounce. The overall chart pattern is looking positive. I'm expecting the stock to move up further from here. The low of 117 of later part of October seems to be an important bottom reversal for the stock right as of now. Currently trading around the 147 levels. I'm expecting this to reach up to 116 levels, which is the next set of resistance in the near term.
So that is Engineers India for you. But Lisa, let's talk about the new kid on the block, Protean eGov.
Yes, so Protean eGov, they got listed on the bourses, and it's quite a muted debut because it got listed at 792, which is the same price as the IPO price, but we can see now the stock is up around 7% as we speak. Well, the analyst also they had given this assumption of around 10% opening owing to the company's healthy subscription. It got subscribed at around 23.8 times, and this was during the 3-day bidding process. And talking about Protein Ego a bit, it has a niche product portfolio and it focuses on e-governance business. But the analysts are saying that the upside potential that looks quite limited because all the near-term triggers that has been factored in, and the near-term triggers that involves building in data capabilities around the analytics, healthy financial performance, and they are also diversifying and focusing on new geographies and new sectors. So yes, as we can see, Protein Ego, it's going well. It's up around 7%, but it is lower than what analysts expected at around 10%.
Okay. Keeping an eye out on the new trade but on the block. But let's move on, talk about BSC, Ansh, and this one is in focus on the back of earnings as well as brokerage note, I believe.
Yes, you're right. And the stock is up 6% today. Company has reported robust financial with revenue reaching to 314.5 crore, a substantial 59% year-on-year growth. Net profit also shows an impressive surge to 120.5 crore, which is up by 256%. EBITDA margin experiences a remarkable increase as well, reaching to 45% from just 6.8% last year. EBITDA stands at 141.6 crore, reflecting a significant growth of over 956%. Also, if you see the stock chart, there are many positive factors here as well. Stock has been advancing for 7 consecutive months. It has been forming higher highs and higher lows for 8 consecutive weeks, and also the stock has touched record high today.
Alright, so that is BSC for you, actually charting a new course every single day. But Nagaraj, Quest Corp, how is this one looking on the charts to you? Do you think this one will also chart new highs?
Yeah, obviously not new highs, at least substantial up move is expected. If you look back at the chart over the last 1 year, 2022 to 23, the stock has been a downtrend, severe downtrend. Recently, we have seen a consolidation movement around 420-25 levels, and last week we have seen some good amount of upside momentum getting into to witness upside breakout. So 450 was the resistance initially, that has been taken out decisively with the rise in volume. The overall chart pattern is now cooking something else. I'm expecting upside momentum to break above from here, and I'm expecting this stock to reach up to the next overhead resistance of around 540 levels in the next 1 month.
Next 1 month is what we could watch out for Quest Corp. That's the word coming in from Nagaraj. Let's move on and talk about another stock that is in focus today, and we have Ramco Cements that's in focus after CLSA is maintaining the underperform rating but hiked the target price to 1,045 rupees per share from previous target price of 890 rupees per share. This is the second consecutive day of gain we are seeing coming in for the stock price as well. Now, when you look at it, the price increases is mainly the CLSA says is something that will drive the profitability for the company in the second half of the year, and overall the leverage rises, still awaiting some visibility on the next leg of expansion from the company, but visibility on further expansion and deleveraging will be a key for the company in terms of the re-rating going forward as well. As of now, yes, they've hiked the target price, so keep an eye out on that, and that's the word coming in from CLSA on Ramco Cements, up almost 1% as of now.
Alright, Nagaraj, let's talk about Orient Cement then, and this one is actually a buzz off late, but on the charts, do you think it merits a buy?
Yes, of course. I'm expecting some more upside in this stock. The stock has been continuously in uptrend over the last few months, and a minor declines in between have been taken out on the upper side, has converted into a buy on dips opportunity previously. And currently the stock is placed at the resistance of around 215 to 218 levels. And overall, with this positive chart pattern, I'm expecting this 218, 220 levels to be broken on the upper side. On a decisive breakout of these stocks could march towards 235 to 240 levels over the longer period of time.
Alright, so that is the take coming in for Orient Cement. Let's talk about Glenmark Pharma, and that particular counter is actually in focus on back of its earnings. If you look at the numbers, they've actually posted a loss in the quarter gone by. On the back of that, the stock actually fell, or rather is now at the day's lowest point, 4.8% downtick coming in for Glenmark Pharma. They posted a consolidated net loss from continued operations at around 201 crore rupees as against a profit that they posted a year ago of around 154 crore rupees. The company actually incurred a one-time cost of around 325 crore rupees related to a legal case settlement with the US Department of Justice and Antitrust Division and remediation costs in India as well as the United States. So on back of that, you have the stock that is under pressure. In fact, not just today, yesterday's Muhurat trading session as well, the stock saw a downtick of as much as 1.9%.
Okay, surely keeping an eye out on Glenmark Pharma, but let's move on and talk about Poonawalla Fincorp, and this one we're keeping an eye out on in terms of on the back of technicals. And Nagaraj, Poonawalla Fincorp on the charts, what is the expectation now for this one? Where do we see it headed? In the last couple of trading sessions, a mild up move is what we've seen coming in. Last 6 months, 18-19% return. What is the view now?
Yeah, after witnessing a significant upside bounce from the lower levels, the stock has consolidated a bit in the last couple of sessions. What we can observe is technically very important pattern has formed recently after showing a false downside breakout of the range movement and also a upsloping trend line, a very important support of trend line around 350-355 levels. The stock has witnessed a significant upside bounce in the last week. The overall chart pattern is indicating this fast downside breakout attempt itself is a bullish indication, and I'm expecting this to move above the current consolidation of 392 to 395 levels. Once it breaks above 395 levels, it could reach up to the next overhead resistance of around 425 to 430 in the short term.
Alright, moving on. Lisa, let's talk about Biocon. This one also had come up with its numbers. How are the numbers?
Right, as you can see, reflecting in the share price, the stock is down, and that is because of a weak set of numbers that came in from Biocon. The revenue, EBITDA, margins, they all were below estimates. And talking about the numbers, revenue was flat on a quarter-on-quarter basis. PAT was, however, up on 16% on sequential basis. And Motilal Oswal also came up with a note on Biocon, and they have a neutral stance on Biocon with a target price of around 220 per share. So that is much lower than the current market price, and that is because of the delay in new approvals that is dragging the biosimilar prospects, and even the pricing pressure in API segment that is adding to the woes of Biocon. And the main highlight from the management commentary is that they have reduced the revenue guidance in the generic segment, and this is to low double digit was high single digit for FY24. So that is why on the back of weak outlook as well as weak set of numbers, we can see Biocon, it's trending downwards in today's session.
Okay, that is Biocon for y'all. Let's move on and talk about CIE Automotive on the charts then. And Nagaraj, this one in the last 6 months seems a bit subdued in terms of performance we have seen. What is the view now on CIE Automotive? Are we expecting an upside from here on?
Yeah, obviously, if you look at the past historical chart of this, whenever the stock has shifted into a consolidation or a smaller downward correction, eventually after the correction, the stock has witnessed a significant phenomenal upmost from the breakout. Currently, we have seen the stock has been in a consolidating or showing downward correction in the last couple of months, and currently placed at the edge of the upside breakout around 490 levels. So all are set for a upside surge for the stocks, and I'm expecting a decisive movement on the upper side from here. And 550 could be the next resistance to be watched for the stocks in the near term.
Moving on then, Ansh, let's talk about Hind Copper, and I believe this is in focus on back of its earnings.
Yes, and the stock is up 8 to 9% today actually. A company has reported strong financials with a substantial increase in revenue reaching 381 crore, which is up by impressive 80% on year-on-year basis. Net profit for the period stands at 60.7 crore, showing substantial growth of 134%. Company also shows an improved EBITDA margin at 31.7%, which is up by around 150 basis points. EBITDA for the period reported 121 crore, reflecting a significant increase of 89%. Also, if you see the stock chart, stock seems to have given a breakout from a thin trading range of over 13 sessions. Notably, the trading volume also surges to 9 times comparing to its 10 session average trading volume. Also, the stock has surpassed about 50 DMA level.
Okay, surely interesting to watch out for. Numbers is what we're keeping an eye out on. But Nagaraj, you too picked out Hind Copper on the charts as well. Last 1 month, it was quite subdued in trade. But today, look at the up move, right, after the numbers that we're seeing coming in. What is the view now on Hind Copper?
of course, view is positive. If you look at recently, the stock has witnessed a downside breakout of the triangle type pattern, and that downside breakout has turned out to be a false downside breakout. As immediately, without showing any further follow-through weakness, the stock has witnessed a significant upside bounce recently in the last few weeks. So overall chart pattern is looking positive. I'm expecting the stock to reach up to 180 levels, which is the next important resistance as of now.
All right, so that's the take coming in on Hind Copper, both on the fundamentals as well as on technical side. But Vinny, if you look at footwear stocks, a lot of them are in focus, like Khadam, isn't it?
Absolutely, a lot of them are in focus today, and Khadam too is in focus after they reported their numbers. Now, when you look at the numbers, we're seeing a weak set of numbers that was reported by Khadam, because in the top line as well as the bottom line of the company, they've seen a sharp fall coming in. Khadam revenue stood at only 157 crores versus at 186 crores last year, so a fall of almost 16% that we're seeing on a year-on-year basis in terms of the top line. Even the bottom line of the company saw clear weakness coming in. Profits came in only at 1.7 crores versus 5 crores last year. So pressure was there on in terms of the performance of the company. Today the stock is down 4.5% after that, and overall the profits were down 66% this year on a year-on-year basis. So let's keep an eye out on Khadam. Nothing exciting in terms of numbers that came in from the company.
All right, moving on then, Nagaraj, let's talk about NCC. How is this one looking on the charts to you? Because given the fact that Dilip Bilkon, the likes of Dilip Bilkon, a lot of these infrastructure and realty names are in focus on back of the government spending that's coming in the sector. But on the charts, how is NCC looking?
Yeah, the chart of NCC is looking quite positive. It was moving in a narrow range of 170, 140 levels in the last 2-3 months, and currently again plays around the higher range of 165, 170. And the overall chart pattern and the immediate supports of 10 and 20 week EMAs and the rise in volume in last week with the upside breakout are all indicating that there is a possibility of a further upside breakout in the stock around 170 odd levels. On the happening of upside breakout, I'm expecting the stock to surge towards 185, which is an immediate resistance for the stocks in the near term.
Let's put the spotlight then now on AU Small Finance Bank. If you look at that particular account, it hit a 6-week high in today's trading session on an intraday basis. The stock right now is at the day's highest point for you. Morgan Stanley has maintained an overweight stance on the company, but raised the target price to about 1,000 rupees per share from 925 rupees per share. And this is highest target coming in amongst all the brokerages for AU Small Finance Bank. A lot of the analysts that are actually tracking AU Small Finance have mostly a hold rating with a median target price of around 740 rupees per share. What Morgan Stanley is saying that the NBFC is at an inflection point, and it's a preferred pick among the mid-sized banks. They are saying the AU Small Finance Bank is well placed to more than double their earnings over the next 3 years, including via a planned merger with FinCare. So on back of that, we have AU Small Finance Bank that's perked up in trade. In fact, at the day's highest point on back of Morgan Stanley's backing.
Okay, but let's move on and talk about Karur Vysya Bank also. This one is trading at multi-year highs today as of now as well. And Nagaraj, on the charts, what is the upside that now one could expect? YTD, we've already seen almost a 45% return coming in. Should one actually start booking some bit of a profit or continue to hold this for the long term?
Though the stock has placed near the all-time highs, still there is no indication of any reversal pattern unfolding at the higher levels. This itself is indicating there is more steam to go on the upside. So immediate supports of 10 and 20-day EMAs are continuously offering supports during intra-week declines. They are taking it supports and continuously moving up. The overall chart pattern is still positive. Some more upside is likely. 175 is the next hurdle where I'm expecting the stock to reach up to.
All right, moving on. Lisa, let's put the spotlight then on Fortis Healthcare. This particular account is in focus on back of its numbers.
Yes, a good set of numbers. The numbers came in better than expected. Even the margin that stood at around 19.8% versus 20% last year. Sales stood at 1,607 crore versus 1,462 crore last year. So good set of numbers coming in, and even the management gave good commentary. They have reiterated the margin guidance at 20% by FY25, and they say that they will be be scaling up the hospital margin, which will be a key to watch out for any kind of re-rating. And also the management highlighted that they have an occupancy target of around 70%. They are on track with a total expansion of 2,200 beds over the next 3 to 4 years. So that is why we can see Fortis Healthcare, it's surging higher in trade today, 3.5% as we speak.
Let's move on and talk about a stock that is trading again at a 52-week high. Actually, I believe it's a multi-year high for Coal India as well, Ansh, and on the back of numbers?
Yes, also the stock is trading 5% up today in trade. Company has delivered positive results with revenue touching 32,776 crore, marking a 9.8% increase on year-on-year basis. Net profit shows robust growth of 12.7%, reaching 6,813 crore. EBITDA margin sees a slight improvement, standing at 24.8%, up by 40 basis points. And whereas EBITDA reaches 8,136 crore, reflecting 11.8% growth here. Also, if you see the chart, like you rightly said, stock has touched 7-year high on intraday basis today, and the trading volume is 3 times more than the 10-day average trading volume. Also, since September, stock is up almost 45%.
All right, that is Coal India for you, but that's not only Coal India that has been gaining pretty healthily. It's also BHEL in Nagaraj, where everyone had the spotlight on this particular counter. But do you think that it will still have that spotlight, or you think it's time that people take it easy with BHEL?
Current present upmo in the BHEL is something like a renewed buying enthusiasm is happening, what I'm expecting in the stock, because whenever you seeing that the stock has shifted into a consolidation, and eventually the stock price has witnessed that decisive upside breakouts after that. So after the small the consolidation pattern of the last couple of months, and the stock has bounced back sharply in the last 2 weeks. Currently placed at the edge of upside breakout around 135 to 137 to 138 levels, and on an upside breakout, this stock is likely to reach up to its next upside resistance of around 150 to 153 levels in the next 1 month of time.
Okay, keeping an eye out on those levels for BHEL, and within 1 month time, 160 is something that Nagaraj is saying one should watch out for as well. But let's move on and talk about Spark then, Nagaraj, on the charts. This one surely has seen a recovery in the last 6 months, right? From those 180, 170, 180 levels, today it's trading at around 260. What's the view now for Spark?
260 has been a strong resistance. We have seen a couple of times the stock hitting the 260 levels and reacting on the downward. On the downside, we have seen higher bottom formations over the last many weeks, and currently eventually the stock has regained its momentum recently and currently placed at 260 level. This time, hopefully, I am expecting the stock to break above the 260 level, which is a strong resistance on the upside breakout of this 260. The next resistance would come into the picture is around 285 to 290 levels.
All right, so that is Spark for you. But with that, we will actually slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. But before that, hear out the special conversation that we've had with biggest names from the Dalal Street, and they shared their top picks for summer 2018. Listen in.
Mega bull market going on in steel, in the oil and gas space in US, in Saudi where they are present, and in India. In water, because of the Har Ghar Jal, there's pipes going on there. They've acquired Syntex. They will do plastic pipes also to get into your home along with the tanks. So as you say, the degrees of freedom expand, and if you're conscious on capital allocation and ROI, there's no reason why you can't be showing 20-25% return on equity on a levered basis, on a expanding opportunity set. Virat Kohli, very easy, it is HDFC Bank. The Zomatos and others are in a duopoly, and it's for them to lose this game now.
I made one investment. It's an unlisted company called Wari. We made a significant investment 1 year back. I think this is an interesting company to watch. They are already bagged significant orders in the last, right now again, last 2-3 months, some panel prices are up, down, but we are not taking that view. I think this is a real long term. This company should be interesting to watch for. I've owned Dalmia Bharat for now almost 5 years. So these are all, I own Gujarat Fluoro for 5 years.
My Indian portfolio, we've entered our 3rd year of a property upturn. Clearly this particular bank is at a much there's been a significant derating relative to history, right? The Zomato market cap is way lower than the nearest equivalent in China, which is Meituan.